Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Today we have a very special guest in the live chat today, Rodney Dangerfield. I can tell it's going to be a sad story. I mean, look how blue the main character is. I'm kidding. Yeah. Sorry about the delay. And apparently, Starrytchi, using his old account, apparently, which is what I thought was not going to happen anymore, I was going to still be at work for right now. So unfortunately, will not be here to see in live stream the conclusion. Saying the wrong words today. Clearly, I'm at the top of my game. To see the conclusion of the unlisted videos that have been relisted for the purpose of being watched on Gacha Review. That being said, this is not the end of this occurrence occurring on Gacha Review, because tomorrow it seems like I'm going to have to prove myself wrong here a bit, because it turns out there's a little bit more to one of the stories in the Passing of the Torch, a little bit more content for us to dive into than I initially anticipated. And this content is still unlisted, but has been made available to me. So we're going to cycle round again. But obviously, based on the order, Starrytchi is last, and therefore we're going to cover that before cycling through again. So just make them archive reviews, not today, because these have been relisted on the channel. So they are public to see. In fact, you can check the description. You can see for yourself they're still there. But yeah, as for tomorrow's review, potentially not. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I also just realized today was supposed to be another Butter Bunch night, but I've already done one of those this time, and I've completed re-looped that thing again. So again, top of my game, clearly. Oh my goodness. Let's ignore that for now, and let's just have a good time, shall we? So, all right, here we go. This is this series. I'm not sure what it's about necessarily. It's called All Right. Apparently, it features a blue protagonist, and that's all that we know, really. So we'll see. There are 5 episodes, or I guess 5 numbered episodes, and then there's all 1.5 and also a finale. So whichever way you look at it, 5 of them have numbers on them, and one of them is a finale. So there's 6 videos in total. Plus, there's another one that was available, which is a music video that we're probably going to have to silence. But it's based on a popular song, so we should be able to, follow it just fine. So we'll do that somewhere in the middle. I think I know the best place to put it. So halfway through, we'll interrupt this broadcast of a full show with a bit of a music video, classic. So yes, Dabba Dee Dabba Die, indeed. Not that song. It's a different popular song that we're going to base something on. But yeah, speaking of Dabba Dee Dabba Die, let's get back to the blue. Without further ado, on with the review. Oh yeah, we'll wait for that to pass because it's copyrighted and it's only gonna last a few seconds, so hopefully it's done by now. There we go. All right. Okay. Hi, I'm Owie. You're probably wondering why I have a mask. Considering this video was made in 2018, yes, it is less likely statistically that you would be wearing a mask at this time. So yeah, good question. I'll explain. Sorry. As never loved I'm guessing that was I was never loved by my parents. I think, based on context clues. But anyway, we've got disgrace, mistake, deception, disgrace. I've done that joke so many times. One time, one of them punched me in the jaw really hard and dislocated it, and therefore I wear a mask, so people don't question how I'm able to still communicate. Oh yeah, you thought of it too. I'm not the only one who keeps recycling that. Anyway. And I guess Catherine also exists.
Witness freak, go die.
Mistake again. We saw this earlier. And then now we're going to freak. Okay. Now, does the dad have an Ian style blue streak in his hair? I guess it fits. Catherine, no, that's Katerine. Okay, my bad. What's the point of the mask? I'm making a dream reference. Well, that is what we're trying to find out, what the point of the mask is. So, yeah, let's see. Dislocated bone of some kind, like fractured jaw, something. Maybe someone left a scar, I don't know. Loser? Well, guess what? Your name means pencil in Spanish, so there. They never loved me. That being written in red implies that the parents are dead. It'll never get better. Will it? Unless... No, I mustn't. Must I? I mustn't. Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me catch thee. Also heterochromia. Hey, you look, as long as I know eye patches, let's see. She wrote in red, I went the superhero never die route. Oh. You mean cancelled it too soon? I wanted to. Why can't they love me? What did I ever do? Why? Lapis and the person wearing a lot of light blue. I'm guessing that's supposed to be pronounced like lapis. Yeah, I thought so, but it was too tempting to not point out. Hey, look, when there are bullies, you use the ammunition you can get, you know? Much like they do. Oh. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So I did see something about this. You know what? I have to do something that I don't normally do off my own accord. I have to load an image. Because there is something that's for episode 1.5, it says read description. So I'm going to bring up the image here of the description so we can all read it, because having read the description, I should have been prepared for such a surprise ending here, even though I wasn't. So here is the description for episode 1.5. Okay, the reason I'm doing 1.5 is the backstory wasn't supposed to be a real episode. Also, I'm remaking the intro for the series as I have lost Pencil, RIP, so Leah is replacing her. By lost, I'm guessing lost the character, like, you know, like details, like saved in Gacha, because that did sometimes happen back in the day, or even nowadays, actually, if you don't save in whichever way the game arbitrarily wants you to save, or sometimes these things just disappear for no reason. It's, you know, Gacha Life did, I forgot how many glitches it had sometimes, all things considered. So yeah, we've all been there, to be honest. And this is also why, you know, character exports are such a godsend nowadays, because we no longer have to, you know, build them back up from scratch. Because trust me, when you build up a character from scratch and make a mistake while in the editing of said character, people tend to notice. People still comment about Mr. Grayson's eyes 6 years after that video came out. So, you know, it happens. Consequences of that. Oh, whoops. But yeah, as for this being a standalone thing on its own, I'm guessing that this was, you know, uploaded, you know, rather quickly, being like, okay, this is like a full, this is a full nearly, you know, however long, a minute and a half. But by Starrytchi standards of the time, that was a long video. So I guess maybe that was the reason. Yeah, you know, get something out and keep the ball rolling. Which, yeah, okay, I can understand that. And to be perfectly honest, you know, if a series generates enough excitement around it, the fact that it's, you know, it has a rudimentary time-saving production sometimes works to its advantage. Emphasis on sometimes. Depends on what corners you cut. And for evidence of that, check out any of the Jazz Pops or Disco Pops reviews, particularly Disco Pops. But yeah. Fun fact, Skrill and Now were part of a different series before Secrets of the Plex. Fun fact, so were Pop and Empress in Mutant Girl. And I forgot to mention Charlie and Nova. Oh, wow, yeah. Skrill, Now, Nova, and Charlie were part of a different series. Other characters from it, the cameos in Star Nova was named Asaro before she was Nova. Okay. Interesting. I do know that Secrets of the Plex originated from roleplay, so I imagine that some people, because I know how this works sometimes, that people like recycle certain characters in roleplays. It's also kind of like how how Aiden likes to recycle Quest the Rising Sun characters in Mists of Occulta and give them different backstories accordingly to varying degrees of success. Rest in peace, Doc. But you know. So I get the principle. So that makes sense. But yeah, in the case of Pop and Empress, it's because they were created by somebody else, by their original voice actor. Because at the time he was one of the two people who introduced me to Gacha in the first place, and you know, he showed me a bunch of his videos, and you know, this is like on call, and you know, with his sister, and I like, you know, talked over them and made like jokes and remarks. It was like a prototype of Gacha review before I, you know, dipped my toes into actually making Gacha in the first place. And when I started doing that, when I said, "Hey, I'm gonna make I'm gonna make my own Gacha show," and but before I actually recruited them to be part of it, because I thought, "Hey, I'm going to surprise you with this thing rather than, you know, have you be directly involved, so you get more of a you know, a shock when it happens." But no, that either way. Before they were involved, and then but then Jay actually said, "Hey, can you would you like to include Pop and Empress into it, specifically those two out of the whole roster of characters that he had, because he was more of a recurring character person." And I said, "Well, okay, sure, I'll see where I can work them in." So there was meant to be like a different lead bully at first in the series, and then Empress was kind of like tacked on, and then I had like the whole extra thing about like the history of mutants and such to cover the fact that, you know, she was a wolf and then became a bear because Jay changed the design, which you know, definitely was something was like, okay, what continuity reason can I give for this, because I'm much more rigid with this stuff than they are. Oh my. But yeah, originally it was meant to be like, oh hey, you know, you want to give them like a cameo or something, or have them appear in an episode as like a you know, a fun Easter egg. Not, hey, can you make them an integral part of the plot for the you know, for the foreseeable future and the unforeseeable as well, considering that, you know, it's gone on to become the longest running Gacha series. Yeah, so that was not supposed to happen, but yeah, that's how I end up with two completely different characters from a whole different continuity that are now an integral part of mine. Yeah. Every character I added was recycled except for Now's Anomalies and one from season 3 who hasn't been released. That is fair. Yeah, I guess like also like the further you get along with the series, and the more that I guess you have to, if you want to continue like wrap up something and deviate from what was originally there, then yeah, it makes sense to, you know, add people who are much newer, of course. Anyways, back to this stuff. Circling back, Lapis is someone I had as a character from the old stuff. Lapis? That was the character in here. No, I know there was context because we were talking about oh yeah, no, I remember that we like segued into it. It wasn't just a random, you know, deviation. No more sharks this time. But yeah, fair enough. So someone is, you know, so Lapis is a character you had before. Okay. We'll see if anyone actually appears from the other stuff in here, though I've forgotten most of them now, so we'll see. What's the name of one of the bullies abusing Aoi? Okay. Yeah, well, I know. Well, that was Pencil. That's what I meant. Yeah. Sharks, you say? Yes, I do say. Now I'm going to move on accordingly. Episode 1.5. Let's go. The intro's the same. We've been lied to again. I'm guessing I can have a separate intro now. You know what? Fair enough. Okay, hello, Hanny, aka Starrytchi's name at the time. Okay, so we're covering the fact that Pencil is gone. All right, I lost Pencil, so Leah will replace her. No, she's not being a bully. Oh, so I thought she was okay. I thought it was like it was like a recasting, let's say. But all right. Narrator. Wait, so enjoy your role. Wait, hold on. So there's so there's a narrator that's separate from the creator giving the announcement here, and then and it's also separate from Aoi, who was the narrator in episode 1, and also the main character. Am I getting that right? There's like 3 different people that could fill the narrator role at this stage. All right, I guess yeah. All right, recast the narrator so Aoi doesn't have to break the fourth wall, I guess. Wake up, rat! It's the start of Harry Potter. Wait, you could just insert Ira people into the castle? That was a pop thing. That is absolutely not a pop thing. The pops are far from the first people that introduced, a version of me into into a series, or someone else for that matter. To anyone who doesn't remember this particular phenomenon from Gacha, the fake collab was not a coined phrase until years later. They used to be just called collabs, where somebody would use like make somebody's like someone else's OC in Gacha and say, hey, I'm collabing with this person. Usually they've agreed beforehand, but as Emily can tell you, sometimes people just take your character and then make them an integral part, call it a collab, and then have them doing some unsavory things to yandere dev. Yeah, so the fake collab era particularly, which is another thing that Gacha Review was actually intended to respond to. The very first Gacha Review was that it took ages to actually put together because I didn't know what I was doing and how long the video was going to be, and also because and also because I was trying to use I was trying to to sync up 2 Gacha characters, my own and Shorty's, aka Mimi's at the time, to what we said in the episode, and it took forever. That's why I was like, hey, this is the end of Pride Month. No, it isn't. Not anymore. It wasn't we filmed. So yeah, that was the plan. I was like, oh yeah, hey, there's like the actual real person behind the account. So it's not just, hey, I'm totally collabing with with well-known Gacha tuber. It's Mimi-chan. This is not absolutely a fake collab that I didn't agree on beforehand, as I assume the comments would have said at the time if I hadn't done that. But hey, it was always going to be a show with guests and voiced guests rather than, yeah. So, and then Gacha reactions took off in a different way, and they offered even less commentary than some reactors out on YouTube nowadays. Anyway, story-driven characters, yeah. So the fake collab in general kind of like gave way to the cameo. Because sometimes that was what they would end up being when they called collabs. It was like one person appeared like at the end. Even going back to Taming the Bad Boy again, that was a case where some people actually wanted to be in the video, and those were basically cameo characters that also did unsavory things. I'm noticing a pattern here actually. But anyway, and so like that continued into what the pops would eventually do. So it's not by any means a pop exclusive thing. So yeah, people have featured others onto onto shows. It gets more complicated when the shows are voice acted, just because then usually you do have to either get the person or an impressionist, and it becomes it becomes an Adult Swim / Fox cartoon type of situation. You build stories of the characters, yeah. Who would do that? Yeah, exactly. Another example right here. Ghost Girl did that years before I even found out about the pops, or before they even actually started. I think. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, it was like a year before. as themselves. This. Oh wait, yeah. This is sounding extras. That might be why it's triggering me. Potentially, but I mean, yeah. In the case of Sequels of the Plex, of course, if you're casting people as themselves against the play themselves, that's a whole extra step. But yeah, no, I wouldn't call them. If it is just a case like they're in the background, they would be extras. But also though, I think do those still count as cameos? I'm pretty sure they still count as cameos. Like, hey, this because I mean, directors' cameos are that they don't normally have directors actually talking in the scene. So yeah, I guess they would still count. I would it be if I had someone else to voice you in the next Jacob Pop's group bid. Hey, as long as I get a different role aside from that one, that'd be really funny. Actually, I just end up playing somebody else reacting to myself. It's like,
I don't know, but for some reason I truly despise you. I can't put my finger on it. Just every time you talk.
I don't know. Anyways,
get ready for school.
I'm using the same voice of the mother. Why not? Oh, so why you sleep with the mask on? That is daring. No, by all means, that'd be hilarious. Just cast the most the most inappropriate casting ever as me. That'd be the best. Like somebody who's like those sounds like complete opposite to me. Gosh, we ever voiced in people series as cameos had two different people voice us. All our characters? All of them. To quote John Cena, are you sure about that? Anyways, dear whatever god I believe in, please may this day feature less kicking to the face or to the jawline as possible. Like this gets bag, summons it from the ether. Anyways, lunch, breakfast. What is that? Is that the only thing you can say in this case? Are all of these actors paid by the word? Lunch, breakfast, starve. K, bye. To school I go. Ah, yes, a nice fade transition to itself. Oh wait, that was like an issue with Starrytchi videos. I think I think Starrytchi mentioned that before. Or I should say Juno, because yeah. At school! I can see why they call you Leah Does Random now. Why are you here? Well, there we go. We've got oh, Eva looks new as well. Was Eva in episode 1? Maybe Eva's the true recasting of Pencil. Anyways, look, the wild nerd. A wild nerd appears. Catherine, Flora, use laughter. Fred, Sonny, Emil, and Clee in a pop group. Okay, well, yeah, two of each. That would make sense. Two of each. Because yeah, if you say all, bear in mind you voice 5 characters in your own show. That's not even counting the ones you voice in other shows. And the same applies to me, more or less. Do I voice 5 people in my own show? I don't think I do. I think the most I've done is 3 per series. I could be wrong. I give myself bit characters in Mutant Girl, so I could have, I could have a much larger roster than I give myself credit for. Just die. Nobody loves you. Katarine used vicious mockery. Owie is now depressed. It's the new Pokemon stat. You've got confused, paralyzed, asleep. Uh, now you've got depressed. There you go. And the teachers are inside. They say this a lot when it comes to. We don't know the size of this school, and it is. I assure you, it is very difficult for teachers to be in all these places at the same time. Because usually there are like one or maybe two that have break duty for like everyone. And that was in the relatively small school that I worked in. That being said, there is normally a teacher that is guarding the entrance. Usually because the entrance is closed and they're trying to let people into the school. So maybe there should be one specifically here, but under normal circumstances, it's not unreasonable to say the teachers are away. I used hug shoulder to weaken Bully's amusement. It was not very effective. Huh? Thank you for the directions of takes off mask. We would never have guessed that from her reaching her hands up and taking off the mask. Why are you? Oh wait, okay, I see what's going on. Because of this, the best pose would have been to like middle pose would be to like go from here to here. Had to go to like but this was the closest where the hands were at the right height, rather than them being suspended in midair. Okay, I see. Oversight. All right then. Yep, she's floating. We'll see. God says it's gonna summon a demon. All right, let's find out. I'm saying editing oversight. You're saying demon summoning. Let's see. I think maybe she can become the demon if she takes off the mask. Or the angel. Okay. That would explain the floating. Right, and our used angel smoke. Jacob is now confused. Learn your lesson. To be continued. And the music, of course, is going. That's what you get. Never mess with me again. Yep, there it is. There it is, like you said, yeah, exactly, Bon. Hey, look, it stands to reason there's something that's that obvious we're gonna both notice it, but we'll see. So yeah, that was definitely a better opening episode than the backstory. Because I mean it largely renders the first episode completely pointless because everything that we covered there, Awie's terrible life, the fact that she wears a mask and that it serves some sort of purpose, all of that was answered in here without going into explaining why. So I feel like, to be honest, if episode 1 didn't exist and this were simply episode 1, we would have gotten the picture all the same. Which does speak to the show don't tell of episode 1.5. It's just a shame that it would end up being like bogged down by the disclaimer of pencil being taken out of it, and also I guess the recasting of the narrator in the place of a character that wasn't even the narrator to begin with. So yeah, if it weren't for that, this would be fun. This would be as close to the best the perfect compact episode right here. If it weren't for that. But anyway, I really giving a hated child becomes an angel hybrid princess vibes. Yep. Potentially, but unlike those hated child videos, this is not the end goal, merely the beginning. So let's see what happens in episode 2. Yep, this again. This intro will change very soon, don't worry about it. When the day... Oh my goodness. Why are we fading to the same song? Okay, let me guess what happened here. The intro was obviously pre-rendered and used at the beginning of every episode. Sure. I'm guessing that Juno slash Starrytchi slash Hanny at the time didn't have the original song in its files, and therefore, like, and therefore decided, okay, when I want this to appear again, I'm just going to use this. I'm just going to recycle the audio rather than getting the song again or like extending it. Because what you could do in theory in this case is actually, remove the audio from it because it starts at the beginning of the song anyway. So then put the song back in so it's stretched out again and then continued it into here. That's what I would have done in this situation. Yeah. When the days are cold and the days are it does feel like that. Anyway, I guess we're cutting this again. Blah 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 blah. Is this still? Are we just gonna continue the same song throughout? Yes, we are. Well, is it just me, or does the melody behind that, like, meant to like seem like very like cryptic, almost like going into like a minor key by accident? I don't know. Anyways, yep, here we go. Awie's mum. Awie's dad. Eva. And Leah does random stuff as the narrator. An actual credit, because it seems like this is, someone, again, in the fake collab style. Or is the agreed upon fake collab, I like to think, for, an entire series gig. All right, here we go. So I guess we're back to exactly where we left off. That's one thing that I sometimes miss from old gachas is the is them opening right after the last episode concluded. Sometimes it doesn't work, and there is obviously good reason why episodes open at different times, and there's like passages of time between them because a lot of stuff you don't want to have in that to focus on or to gloss over, but it's good nice way to say, okay, time has passed, or or we're sticking to a formula in the case of early disco pops, whatever the reason may be. This one was this thing was like kind of born out of necessity sometimes, not necessity, but more out of I guess system, because once you stop taking screenshots and you just leave the scene there and decide, okay, here's where the video is going to go, I'm going to upload this as it is right now and then continue. Nowadays with when everything is like so heavy, like scripted and edited and polished together, that's largely been abandoned. But as a stylistic choice, even if it was one that was done because of the mechanics of the time, I actually really enjoy it. Also, no third demons this time. Time for a oh, thank you for not having an eye patch. Huh? Throws chair at Owie. I moved Owie. Well, I mean, okay. Thank you for acknowledging the fact that Owie was moved in this scene. This is a time where like there were only like a few screenshots in there. This is where you can absolutely, start the scene again. If it's this early on, I would say start the scene again, like, cut this part out of the final version. That does make me wonder sometimes. I don't know if this is what happened at all, because a lot of gacha tubers will like go back and like amend certain details in their screenshots, right? You'll see some of them that have edits where someone's like a spelling mistake in the captions, and then they'll like type it out or something, or they'll have again captions. They'll say like an error happened in this scene, lol, or something like that, or they'll have like the transitions. There's definitely a sense that a lot of gacha tubers, even if even with like a setup this basic, did go back and went through this stuff. Now I'm wondering actually whether or not some gacha tubers simply took the screenshots, blindly trusted that that the story would like flow correctly, or there would need to be no edits, and then simply put them into the quick succession, like into the slideshow form, and then posted it without looking. I wonder about that because I remember that when I first started making videos, the thing that I was using, what the app was called EasyVid. It's not very good. I used it for way too long. It actually like took it did the screen capture itself, and then it would it loaded the track, it loaded the audio. You could actually have like a few captions or something at the beginning and whatnot. Usually the audio was slightly out of sync and you couldn't really fix it. It was very, very, very rudimentary. And so sometimes it was just a case of, okay, well, I can't really do any edits with this. I've already done the beginning part where I've like added something on top of that, and I've done like a little bit of voiceover at the start. So if you go back to my old videos, what happened there was you could add captions. We could add like, like slides onto EasyVid at the start, and then I would like say something random like, I'm thinking this on the top of my head, blah 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 blah, and then like I'm rushing to get to the end of it, and then it cuts to the actual video because that's how I synced up the audio. So yeah, very early Jacob was cutting corners in some bizarre places. Because I didn't know any better. But yeah, the reason I bring that up is because once EasyVid did its thing, there was nothing you could do at that point unless something like went horribly wrong with the recording, and then you like realize, okay, I need to like say something here, and then try again or something. So most of the time was just like, okay, the video's loaded, no errors were made. Immediately press the upload button, because you could also upload directly to YouTube if it actually didn't malfunction, which it frequently did, but that's beside the point. I bring this up because I'm wondering if that's something, if that mentality is similar to what some Gacha tubers do, where they just again take the screenshots, put some things in, and then don't look at it before they then render the video and post it to YouTube. If anyone watching this video was was a Gacha tuber around this time, or maybe even nowadays, maybe you do this now, who knows? And that's your method of like how you started. Let me know, because I'm curious if that's actually just something that I just randomly thought of right now, if that's actually what the standard was. Because it would explain so much, when it comes to the fact that if no one checks their stuff, that's why so many videos may be so confusing. That would explain a lot and also raise a lot of questions at the same time. I never. Oh, sorry. Hold on. That was not the same comment. Imagine if animals wore human appendages made of plastic just for fun. Just like, yeah, this is what. How does it feel? What would they call themselves? What would be like the animal equivalent of furries? That's my question. I don't know. Lack of furries. Skin ease. I don't know. Anyways, but why did you do that, Eva? You gave me and Catherine injuries, that's why. Hairlessies. Baldies. There you go. What's going on in here? Breakfast. Jeremy starts to cry for real, as opposed to earlier when she was fake crying. Is that the implication? What? To be continued. Okay, you know what? It's kind of funny to have the teacher say that line. All right then. Today in science 7th period, I was leaving. Bus was called, and I tripped and fell. Hurt hand, foot, and head. That would explain. The if this were. If this were for episode 1.5, that would explain the shortness of dialogue. Lunch, breakfast, no, denied, starve. Or was I pushed? The person who may have pushed me is mean to me and told me to move. They told you to move before you were pushed, right, like directly before? Because that's suspicious. So I went behind the table. Please don't be mad at me. I tried. Is this Is this Aoi giving testimony, or is this Juno stating what happened to him on this given day in school? Like, I don't know who's supposed to be talking right. Okay, apparently Juno. Like, okay. Good for you for finding a hiding spot, I suppose. I thought this was gonna like I'm sorry that happened to you. I thought this was going to like relate to like what happened in the video or something, or I don't know. If there were errors in this video, don't mind me because I'm concussed. I don't know. That kind of threw me off there. But all right, I suppose. The voice? What voice? Okay. Oh, wait. Is the Neko singer the person who did like the pitched up version of Imagine Dragons? Oh no, sorry, no. These are all different like social medias of Junos at the time. Okay. Oh, you have a Wattpad? Interesting. I wonder what the Wattpad would have looked like. Once upon time, there was character. Things happened. I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm sure the stories were more elaborate than that, or are maybe still up. I don't know. I wish I could delay my videos like this. I'm noticing it was the best. I lost my footing on the way to work and lost sleep whether someone saw me. Caveman writer. Yeah. Honestly, you know what? That's actually inspired me. Wouldn't it would be really funny to make it to like write a story as if it was written by a caveman and just try to keep up that narrative voice until it gets boring. Maybe a children's book. That'll work for a children's book, I think, not for like a prolonged like piece of prose, probably. If we saw this instead of being told this. Wait, so oh yeah, but that's if it's actually happened in the episode. If I'm thinking it actually happened to Juno in real life, like to the creator, and that's why it was not addressed in the video. But then again, there were different colored texts, so I don't know. What little I know about FNAF is telling me that's significant, but like I don't have time to look into it right now. People like that does exist already. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That checks out. All right, I guess we'll scratch that idea and continue. You know what? Actually, no. Maybe that'll work for a gacha series. Well, a gacha series about like a narrator character who speaks like that, because that would give like a unique voice. So if someone is still like at this particular like stage of gacha creation, that'd be perfect for them because you've got a unique character already to like follow. I don't know, the caveman in the School of the Future or something. I don't know. Top of my head, first thing that came up. See if something comes of it. Oh yeah, next episode. We're in the days are days, and they're also days, and so many days, all of the days. Oh, yeah. More days. There continue to be days, and there are still days, and so many days, 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 days. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I completely forgot I was gonna have the same issue. Yeah. All right, come on. Yeah, just checking it didn't change. All right, here we go. What is it? How we done? Ugh. Oh no! Why did you push her? You're in big trouble, Missy. Ooh, right, you're nicely done. Please, no. After class. Oh, so you're no longer in you're no longer in the South Pole. Good to know. Also, this music is this music this one is what it suggests conflict is about to occur. This one's building something up. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It was just like the build up to it. Yeah, this feels much more tranquil now. As you push, it's based on 2 events. Sorry, just something you want to tell us? Well, I mean, this is the episode that came out directly after the one where he said that he was that someone pushed him or like may have pushed him, and it's someone who was usually mean to him. So probably might have been a little bit of narrative projection in here. I think the real reason why a lot of gacha tubers don't like people discovering their channels from their schools is because they tended to use them as a platform to vent about those same people. Anyways, not like there'll be any fun at home. And there's the push. Oh no, she's floating again. Yeah, Catherine, you might want to run. If you see the thing, if she's doing the thing that she did when you got injured last time, you might want to get out of the way this time. Yeah, so from what I remember from the quitting video, there was like a very brief mention where apparently, like, his gender identity is masculine, and that was something that was also discovered recently. So that is a change from this era. That's my understanding. Also, no, Catherine, don't stay with us. Leave, run, flee from the scene for your own good. You will pay, and now you will die. No, please, I'm sorry. Not. Wait, I take it back. Was that sarcasm I heard? I like how she still had she still had like the idea to be sarcastic in her own mind, despite the fact that she was, I guess, being subjected to smoky torment of some variety. I don't know. As useful as Ebony Pop in this situation. I mean, Ebony Pop has powers, but other than that, yeah. You will pay. How he said it calmly. That was meant to be a Star Kid reference of when when Pappy is taking out his anger on Admiral Multi. And now you will die. Who was it that, like, I think someone in the chat when we reviewed that episode, that musical, they actually said something on like, I wonder how they're gonna do these effects, because they did like a low budget thing. How they're gonna do the effects of the electrocution? Oh, just watch. God, I love mid-era Star Kid. Or second-era Star Kid. And so I run, and I run. I don't bother to look back at the consequences of my actions, because a conscience I lack. I don't know, something like that. Also, yeah, we've had action speed bubbles for like this entire series and other Starrytchi stuff. I'm looking forward to when that gets phased out. Yeah, she flees the scene exactly. She flees the scene to the triumphant music that accompanies her. Also, for once, I can definitely say I can see why the parents are mad. I would be too if I found out that my daughter injured 3 people, one of them twice, and fled the scene the second time. Did you beat 2 girls up today? No, correction, I beat up 3 girls. I mean, no, that didn't happen. Victory is mine. If I ever meet Midori stories, I have so many questions about Mia's character, particularly. Just in general. All right. Lol, forgot dialogue. She said, yes, they told me to go die. So we know for a fact that you know, Hanny slash Starrytchi slash Juno did in fact go back and check these videos at the time. So the thing I said before does not apply to him, but you know, still. Just selective in their discipline. Well, I mean, they disciplined the person they saw injure someone or push someone, you know, in their direct line of vision. Remember, I said before, it's not unreasonable for teachers not to be in every single hall at every single point. That being said, it does make sense that there would be a phone call about this later because, I mean, that's not being selective. That is, you know, just duty of care right there. If, you know, for 3 students that are severely injured or like have visible like, you know, cuts and bandages on their face, even if they shouldn't have, you know, had access to them before going to the nurse's office, but whatever. Then yeah, of course you would call someone. Maybe take their advice. Yeah, this is where we get back to the parents being terrible human beings. Why did you conceive her? Well, something tells me that was not intentional on their part. They told me to go die. Da 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 die. Die. I jumped so high, high. I don't even know why. Why? I don't know. What should we do with it? That look of malice on your face suggest, like, again, it's the classic thing of like, you know, of monstrous parents not having any subtlety, just being like, ah, yes, we will keep our villainous eyes this whole time. Maybe abandon her, throw her out, basically. Yeah, good luck with that when social services get involved. Yes, we'll do it after her nap. Why is nap in quotes? It is very much a nap, right? Unless she's pretending to be asleep. Hey. To be continued, will they abandon her? Well, I mean, if this is the setup, then she can just not leave the house. Like, I mean, if they can, if a more appropriate term, I think, here would have been kick her out, personally, but I don't know. Okay, so I think this is where we're going to be able to do a good intermission. So, not a shark themed intermission, but intermission nonetheless, because it is time to look at the bonus video, the music video that I said was, you know, also relisted, so it makes sense to at least take a look at it. Even though I normally don't review music videos except under specific circumstances, these are one of the circumstances. So let's see. Let's go ahead and see which song Hanny the Cat picked for this music video. Cold in the cards all... I mean, there's having a favorite song, there's having a favorite song, you know? I'm sure that Imagine Dragons really appreciate Juno's patronage around this time. Okay. So yeah, now we get the actual the actual song. Oh, I forgot to mute it. Okay. Yeah. And the saints we see are all made of gold. There's 2 characters singing, and I'm guessing this sounds like one person because it's still an existing track. Which is another issue with, obviously, different artists, but yeah. Is this gonna be like a duet between Hanny and Leah? Now this is a fake collab I can get behind. Anyway. When your dreams are... Oh wait, no, hold on. I can do better. Wait a second. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's see.
When your dreams all fail and the ones we hail are the worst of all, and the bloods run stale.
Why is that so enthusiastic? And the bloods run stale. Look at my cast out cover, it's much better. Didn't I already do that like ages ago? But in general, yes, check out Bond's cast out cover because reasons. Oh, in chat, not the actual cover. Okay, all right, hold on. Where is it? I don't see anything. So for myself, but I mean, look, I mean, your cover, the actual one, you know, is in fact, you know, far better to begin with. But yeah, no, the actual chat, the actual cover did not show up in here. Oh well. Maybe we should abandon her. Hello, sign these papers if you really want to get rid of Aoi. Who are you? I'm the Cattail Orphanage. Yep, there it is. As a wise person once told, consent was never an option. Okay. Honestly, at some point, I would love to see a Cattail Orphanage series from you, Ghost Kitty, like all the characters that you've like picked out from other gacha shows. Just like a Amazing World of Gumball, like Foster's Home, you know, style, you know, amalgamation. So it's not showing up. Okay, well, yeah. Well, check out the actual cover on Bond's channel because it is in fact better than this. But that's not the point right now. Let's see how it continues. Hold on.
I wanna hide the truth. I wanna shelter you. But with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. We're still no matter what we breed, we're still made of greed.
That's the order, right? No matter what we breed, we are still made of greed. It's in that order rather than we are still made of greed no matter what we breed. No, wait, I see. No, I'm gonna unmute this for a second because I need to check that. I wanna know. It's the classic thing of, you know, Western reading eyes will dictate you read from left to right first if two things show up at the same time. Let me just check this. No matter what we breed. Yep, it's no matter what we breed first, then we're made of greed. Okay, there we go. So yeah, in that case, I would have said, you know, recommendation here: have the man we breed appear first on screen and then be joined by "We Are Still Made of Greed" from Hanny. Also, how come Hanny is the only person who gets a uniquely colored speech bubble? That seems unfair to Leah. At least I think so. Anyway.
This is my kingdom come, this is my kingdom come. When you feel my heat, look into my eyes. It's when my oh.
Okay. So this is the revenge song that accompanies the show. All right. Because this did come out like in the middle of this series. I think it might have come out before episode 3. Maybe it was actually at this point. I only chose it here because of because you'll see why, but still. They're attacking one of the characters because you know, of what he represents. And this represents, you know, the venting against such foul forces that would seek to be terrible to their children / the main characters. Yeah, don't get to, yeah, I don't think he wants to get too close, honestly. It's dark inside. I like it's actually, oh, Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not getting too close there either. It's dark outside as well. Let me at Felix. I just want to talk to him. You have to get past Prism first. Anyways.
It's where my demons hide. It's where my demons hide.
School is the last of all. And the lights fade out. All the sinners crawl. Like even Hanny was scared there. Like that was something that they we didn't rehearse that, Leah. What are you doing, Leah?
So they dug your grave and the masquerade will come calling out. I didn't press play in time, so it's gonna seem like a longer pause than it actually was. At the mess you've made.
What is it? What does it sound like with the voice pitch? If I just do like a that mess you've made, like the creators in a deep, yeah, well, potentially, because it does seem like this is now like turning on Hanny specifically, aka the facsimile for the creator at the time. Anyway. Don't wanna let you down. I like how like they're now literally worlds apart, as if like, yeah, you're gonna scare me like that. You can stay over there. We finish the cover. Yeah, just yeah. Ah, of course. Now this is all for you. Don't wanna hide the truth. I got a character who was, bound to supposedly, the bad place is the one with the angel wings at the moment. Watch me read. Oh, now they're both singing. They are still made of greed. Yep. Just crying. Yep. Yep. Masquerade will never come because the vid wasn't played. Oh, that was fantastic. That's great. Demons play on words show up. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And we appreciate it. Also, wrong music vid. I'm guessing this because of this is like dark side setting, but yeah. So hey, Bond's cover is much better. Slash lyrics. But then again, most Bond covers come with amended lyrics anyway, so yeah. I had to point out to everyone that Leah has angel wing. Yes, that was what I was saying. Oh, they're both singing now. Is it still one person? Yes, it is. I know this part. Yes, of course you know this part. You sang it earlier. Are you implying this is meant to be like a musical number where you're like inventing this at the same time as each other? And the passage of time is actually because you pause and like covered Leah's mouth and threw her into literal heck before continuing? Is that what's supposed to be? Is that what we're taking from this? Oh, look at that. They made up, and now Hanny is about to slip on the ice and fall because look at where her foot's positioned. Or maybe Leah sustaining Hanny in the air, potentially. The video like, yeah, this is a demon's hiding like a chronosphere like world of time. Kind of like Nox from Wakfu, if anyone gets that reference. Oh, the sweet song of copyright, yeah. I cannot play too long because of copyright. Anyways, Hanny, no! What is happening to you? Why are you falling from my time dimension? You say it's up to fate. Yeah, it's up to fate whether you splatter yourself on the pavement or not. Jeez. Oh no, never mind. You can fly now. I'm so confused. All right. In my soul,
I need to let you go.
Your eyes, they shine so bright. If you see like the blue void from before, be careful with that. Last character got that close, got blasted in the face. Yeah, of course I will. Unless you show me how, of course I will at the same time. It's like the idea of like trying to like add your own ad-libs on top of the existing music. I've done that before, in all fairness. Use the in-person. Falling in the sky is saying it's up to fate. Isn't there a song called Falling in the Sky? I think there is. Where my demons hide. Yeah, that should have been where she fell from the sky when it slipped on the ice. Not from the time dimension, obviously. Gosh. Anyway, leads to heaven, which is, I guess, to the left of the sky. Where the demons hide in heaven. Leah, you are now an angel. Your wings look virtually identical. You saved me. Even though, I don't know, I guess I pushed you into that by insulting you, and then I just happened to have already be there in heck, and then you were able to rescue me, and then I guess came here, and no consequences came of that. Crashing out. That's why I don't review music videos. And the best friends reconciled, and God incinerated them. I don't know what that was at the end there. Okay. Well, that was an intermission. Heaven, someone did not save you. Well, I think most Christians would say that heaven is the ultimate salvation, but, you know, I could be mistaken there. We'll have to wait until Vin shows up. But yeah, for now, let's get back to the thing that makes sense. The series with the character that transforms and harms people, and then her parents are going to abandon her after she finishes her nap, in quotes. You know, things that make sense. Episode 4. This is why I did the demon song at that point, because it was kind of like the last hurrah for that particular song. So now we're I guess moving on to different things. I think maybe after making the music video, I'm guessing that Juno got very tired of hearing that song over and over again while editing, and was like, I can't keep doing this to myself. I'm changing the theme song. That's just my guess, but we'll see. And yes, you are now a killer, exactly. You are now an angel.
When the days...
Oh, come on! I thought we were safe. I thought because there was a new intro, but no, of course, I forgot about the fact that there's the intro for the show after the intro for the channel. Okay. At least it's not repeated now. New theory, Juno realized that he was repeating the same song twice and was like, hey, this is probably not the best setup. I'll change one of them, but not the other. And I'll change the one that was originally the Demon's song, because I guess I want it to be just this show that has 2 more episodes, mind you. Okay. Does that mean that after this point we went back? Because after this is the Doki Doki video that was like actually, you know, publicly available, which suggests to me there's like a different era of the channel. So maybe the finale of All Right was in fact the last hurrah for demons. I don't know. Funny moments compilation. Yeah, but it's just relating to demons by Imagine Dragons, and they're all from this video. Every single one. Okay. 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 Yeah, I'm not listening to it. Yep, Catherine's back, and also Flora. And then Ellie's mum. I'm singing different keys, and I don't care. I can go even lower. Or even higher. And the one credit, and enjoy the episode. And we are in the clear. Owie isn't, but we are. Wake up, Brett. Oh, wow, okay, alright, we've got the fastest walking cycle of Mexico, apparently. Oh, 2 songs at once. Alright then. Yeah, see, this is what I was saying. Kicked out is a much better phrase than abandon. There's his powers are taken. Taken? Oh, did they take her powers after her sleep so she couldn't lash out against them? I assume by that means that they know about the reason behind her powers. Because, yeah, I guess in episode 1, she was trying to explain why she wears a mask and she said it was because she was bullied. But yeah, I guess at some point her powers would have had to come out in order for her to know to protect them, because she removed the mask without hesitation, episode 1.5, meaning she already knew it was going to happen. So yeah, maybe the parents just knew about this and it's part of like her lineage or something. Okay. All right, I'm on board. I'm on board with that. To add the copyright and music again. Oh yeah, you just make it worse by like continuing the same song. Yeah, rather than just the parts that I specifically unmuted. Oh yeah, I took your powers. But before you leave, no, please, just run at this point. You got no obligation to them. Just run away. This is the thing with Gacha, by the way. Because it's on a 2D plane, a lot of times people just forget that characters can, run up and down as well as, left and right. Oh, they're gonna literally throw her out. Oh, she just bumped out on the fence. Now she's concussed for real. You Kirby, something, how'd you take my powers? Well, I mean, maybe because they're from like his side of the family, so he's able to, I guess, like siphon them away or something. I don't know. Plot is the grandparents were angels, but the angelic genes skipped a generation, so they went to Aoi. And the dad was jealous of this fact and therefore decided to try and, manifest her powers and siphon them away when she was at her most vulnerable. There we go. Hey, that's a nice twist right there. Also, what a fantastic idea for a show. Now that I think about it, like something called Skipped a Generation, where it's where the idea is that like some form of like magic power transformation or form or something skipped a generation, and therefore like the person in the middle of that is raising a young child with those powers, and knowing what those powers like either did to like her parents, or the fact that, or his parents, like the fact that like they themselves never inherited those powers in the first place. What that kind of does to their psyche, as well as trying to like get their child the best nurturing they possibly can, and putting up with frequently having to visit the grandparents for training or something like that. What a fantastic scenario. There you go. I might put that one in the back pocket unless someone else yeah, there we go. There you go, Skitty. Unless someone else writes it down, I'll put that on the back pockets, but yeah. And people say throw someone out there. I mean, literally, I worry what you do is to throw out the garbage. I remember there was actually somebody who's doing a stand-up comedy routine where they talked about how there was a foreign transfer student in their class, and that transfer student got in trouble one time because they literally decided to like smash the glass of one of the windows. They got taken to the principal's office, as one would. But the thing is, the reason they did that is because they didn't understand the prompt of crack open a window. You see, so it's there are worse misunderstandings than throw out the garbage. Yeah, like this, for example. Jimmy, take out the dog. Yes, mother. For a walk, Jimmy. Anyways, oh, wait, no, this is a hated child becomes a princess now. If she's going to be adopted by the queen, then yeah, you were right before. A child? Don't hurt me. No, it's fine. I'm more at risk of being hurt right now. I'm standing in the middle of a road. Hope nothing happens to me. Queen Kaylee to you. The hated child covers up covers up a death. You know what? That should have been a thing in like early Gacha. It should have been like, the hated child does this, the hated child does that, the hated child, etc. That would be like a full show of the hated child in like increasingly weird situations specifically around that. That'd be like fantastic. Someone should have done that. I should have done that. They don't get me. Shirley Temple. Oh, great. Someone's about to get run over on the road and you get your drink on with a Shirley Temple? Yeah. No designated driver in that situation, apart from to get to the hospital. All right. Well, I mean, I think that episode was probably like better than episode 3, I'd say. Because I mean, it goes from abandonment to kicked out. Again, it's kind of hard to judge these like on their own because they're mostly just like a couple of scenes. But hey, it's seems like Bomb was onto something. Oracle powers activated again with a hated child becoming a princess, if indeed that is what happens in a finale of this. Let's see. I wonder if this was called the hated child at one point. The fated child. The fated child. It was your destiny to cover up my corpse. I don't know. Yeah, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, I wonder if this show was called The Hated Child at one point, because the title All Right doesn't seem to correlate here, because no one is all right in this series. Maybe that's the point. Maybe she's all right in quotes, but it never comes up like she's trying to deny that something is going on. So I'm not sure why the title is that. Maybe we'll find out in the last episode. Or maybe it was just a random, title change. We'll see. If Jazzy is still here, maybe she remembers at this point. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when you two met, so. Oh my goodness, the voice alteration kind of threw me off there, but nice animation. With actual Dragon Ball sound effects. I appreciate this. I'm biased, but I don't care. Even the flying was still like the sound effect of them taking off. This is just gonna be the Nyan cat. Okay, let me just yeah. Okay, this is not the original one, so I'm not gonna mute it. I guess it makes sense. Hanny the cat, Nyan cat, sure. Okay then. This is gonna be a bit longer, and by a bit longer I mean probably like 3 minutes instead of 2. I don't know. We get a glow up or something. Maybe not in terms of designs and such, but in terms of editing, maybe. This music is probably ominous, so maybe there's a bit of a better selection of music going through this. So it's a musical glow up potentially. Anyway, let's get started. Okay. Why are you on the streets? Queenie, you're literally in the street right now. Yeah, this is where this is the drawback of the episode opening up after the first one ended. This is where that becomes that's a disadvantage, because then you have to do this kind of thing where you could have just opened up after the moment when Aoi is finished explaining, even if there's like a very short passage of time still. How many years have passed between this one and the previous? Fess up. I mean, no, she's still wearing the same clothes, so probably not that many. Oh, wait, no, you meant out of universe. I can check that. They both say 6 years ago, so I'm guessing, a span of like a few months or so. Let me just check. So yeah, September 29th for episode 4. And October 1st. 3 days. We had a glow up in 3 days. Okay. Fair enough. Yes. Oh my. Well, come with me. You're now my baby. Hello. Hello, dear. Tell me your ways. Oh, yeah. Tell me your ways to improve in 3 days. I want to start the next gacha craze. Kitties, Pop-Tarts, and rainbows. I'm going to get the perfect meme. The professor didn't want the best ingredient, music, and thus Neon Cat was born. Okay. I mean, that did make the perfect meme, in all fairness, but oh. I found her on the streets. Should we take her in? Darling, I know we're the king and queen, but we have to go through the proper adoption process for this and, do a background check and everything. We can't just randomly take a child off the streets. What would the press say, for crying out loud? I mean, yes, we should. Ignore that stuff I just said. Little girl, go to the bathroom. We have a spare, cuter uniform for you. But this is the one for my school. Cuter uniform, I say, the king has spoken. Do you know what school I go to? How did you figure that out? There are only a number of schools in this, the presumed capital city where we live. Of course. Wait. Hold on. I gotta do it. There it is. Another person who's addressed in the form of majesty. It all fits. It all fits. Do you need to do background checks for children with no other family on the streets? Well, I mean, more so to do like what family do they have? Like what's their name? Their ID, like anything that like identifies them, basically. That's what I meant by background check, not necessarily like, have they committed crimes and such. Although that would also be a good thing to check anyway. But still. I was suspicious. I would especially like the king and queen. Analyzing this. Most of the time, it turns out that the hated child, for some reason, is also like biologically related to the king and queen, and that's why they become a princess. Which I don't know how, because most of them are born as twins to biological parents, but I don't know. I can see why this is a longer episode now, because we're taking our sweet time with this particular visual. New uniform, go! Gacha life poses were quite something. I mean, is it just me, or does it not look that different on scales of cuteness to before? It does match her hair a bit more, but also, again, is she gonna go to a different school now? We have enrolled you a different school by doing zero paperwork. The king has spoken. Never mind, we sent you back to the school with everyone wearing different uniforms. What is this? As king, I demand that you all dress by levels of cuteness. It is the new decree. Good grief. That is a process, gosh darn it. Yes, but it's not one that we typically need to see in such detail. Aside from the fact that Gacha being, a dress-up app in the first place. Kind of, that's how everyone started, so yeah, alright. The child series I saw, Dad was secretly a king, thus his child had royal blood. I think that's exactly what Aphmau parodied. When she did her version, she had Zane as the dad, but then also it turns out that, Zane died halfway through, but then he came back as the king. So, yeah, that happened. I like Amy and Meimu's hair. Which is a good point. These are new people. Is this a different school? That's why they're different characters, but there's only one school background in Gacha. Or like one type of school background, so that's why they look the same. Oh no, the bullies got expelled. I didn't read the dialogue yet. I became popular at my school for my nice looks and personality. See, it was really my personality was identical to before, but it was really the nice looks that changed. My cute uniform attracted everyone. Being the new princess had nothing to do with it, I assure you, obviously. Of course not. Anyways, Nee, that's my wallet you're reaching for there. And the bullies got expelled. Duh. The king has the last word. Dash letter. Okay. Okay. So, little bit different to what we were expecting there. Also, not to mention here, Avakin Life. That's something that Caroline introduced me to a while ago that I almost made content on, but I never got. It was mobile only, so obviously I scrapped that idea. All right. Anyways, yeah. One last thing to do. When the days are cold. We had enough of that one. I like the fact that that in a recent Drumsy video, he literally paid for a license to use Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, but and used it less than we have heard Demons by Imagine Dragons in these videos. And he'd like to look for like any excuse to, put it in halfway through to justify it before the eventual concert that happened. Okay. So, with now that I said before, this is it's hard to judge something on it this on its own. I think we can judge the package as a whole now, and yeah, it is very clear that it was it became or it was formed very similarly to the Hated Child storyline in the first place. It reminds me a little bit of I watched a review of Ella Enchanted, and apparently in that video, this is by Dominic Noble, by the way. In that video, it didn't become clear at first that we were eventually setting up the story of Cinderella towards like the final chapter of the book or final chapters before getting to like because like all the major players and stuff were like already like set up and beforehand and like had different interactions, but they followed the formula of Cinderella a bit more, so it's less a rushed production basically. Whereas the movie did the opposite. But yeah, that it reminded me of that because it obviously it shared a few elements with the Hated Child in terms of the terrible parents and such. But honestly, given that the most Hated Child videos have the shopping scene, a twin sister, they don't feature too many bullies because that's an environment that wouldn't be like dictated by the parents and upbringing, unless the sister happens to also be friends with someone and there's like a few school scenes. We didn't get too many of those. We did get the bullied and the abused part, but that's usually because like that's a thing that happens in a lot of gacha videos around this time. So I wasn't surprised by it because gacha videos with abusive parents, take a shot every time you see one, and then you'll rid the world of its entire alcohol supply. So yeah, that's that, I guess. So yeah, in terms of, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So in terms of like how it like eventually came to be in this in the Hated Child story, like I thought it was like more of a surprise how it went about doing things, and the setup was different. It definitely seems like the Ella Enchanted to the Hated Child Cinderella, which is appropriate because the Hated Child is basically the story of Cinderella as reformatted into what it became ultimately. So on that level, it succeeded. On other levels, where it comes to the dialogue, towards the beginning, this video, which happened to be the longest one, probably had the best dialogue overall. Even though it wasn't actually that long, it's actually about 2 minutes compared to the other's minute and a half or possible 1 minute. So as far as long content goes, it wasn't exactly Juno was quite at that particular point yet. Although ironically, I think the next video that he posted was longer than that. Let me just check. The one that was like public, 3 minutes and 47 seconds. So this is clearly like a gateway into future endeavors. To which I say, I did that too. My first video was also a hated child becomes a princess of some description. And then eventually like pivoted from that to other stuff. So yeah, I get it entirely. And as far as like this setup goes, again, unique. It falls apart in a couple of places. But yeah, like weirdly enough, I can actually follow more logic behind this. Like the teachers not being around every single corner, for example, or the parents using the beating up of the students as a justification for what they did. The father being able to take away the powers that they presumably already knew about also made sense to me. I was waiting for some sort of confirmation that at least like they've been presented with those powers to begin with, but then I guess the fact that they weren't surprised that she had them was kind of proof enough. So aside from episode 1, which really is the pointless one out of this lot here, this was a show that showed rather than told in quite a number of places. Put a spin on a formula we've already seen, and also spread it out across multiple parts rather than trying to cram everything together into one, and actually took us on for the ride. So surprisingly, it is way better than it was suggested to be by the fact that it was part of the unlisted set. So all I can say for this one really is, in terms of like where the cutoff date was for all the unlisted stuff, presumably Juno was somewhat embarrassed by this one initially. But I have to say, it's all right. Oh, well. I was really building up to it, and see yourself out. I'll see myself out too before you come after me again for ruining the bit. So please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. There's one was a Wattpad apparently. Check that out as well if you think if you're looking for something. And it's happened now. All right, and subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time. Oh no! Until next time. Farewell.